Well, a lot of pomp and planning has gone into many Christian and Catholic worship services this morning. If you didn't get the memo, it's Palm Sunday. Palms have been prepared and distributed. Many churches offer very, very, very long choral introits, with the whole congregation processing into sanctuaries. In some cases, thousands gather and move through the streets of their towns and cities, reenacting the story of Jesus entering the city of Jerusalem on his little donkey before the you-know-what hit the fan. That's going to happen later in the week. I find it fascinating that just a few sentences in the New Testament and the Bible is all this story gets, and yet a whole Sunday is devoted to it year after year for our Christian and Catholic siblings, and it even gets a capital P, Palm Sunday. It must be important. Now, for those of you who need a refresher or who have blotted this story out entirely or who have no idea what this story is, the resistor and revolutionary Jesus, a holy man, is entering the holy city of Jerusalem, which has been taken over by an oppressive, cruel regime, fascists galore. And he asks for someone's little donkey to ride on, a peasant's mode of transportation. And as he enters, the oppressed people who recognize him as a liberator and beloved healer, they take off their cloaks and they spread them on the road for him and his donkey to walk on, and they pull palm fronds off the trees and they lay those down too as a way to say, we see you and we love you. And they say as he passes, Hail, Hosanna. It was just sung to us. Hail and Hosanna, which translates as, we praise you, save us, help, beloved, help, for these are desperate times. And Jesus weeps because he knows that the city is in so much pain. They know no peace or love, and he weeps for them. So that's it. That's the story. And as I mentioned, some more stuff's about to come. It's the beginning of what many call the Holy Week. Between now and next Sunday, which we call Easter Sunday, a lot happens to this beloved holy man. It has to get really grim before something new breaks through and pierces the hearts of people. But we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. Now, the way I work with sacred texts is this. You, the reader, we, the readers, have to become every word. You have to become every player, every object. The text is called alive and sacred because it is working with you and through you and in you, speaking to the depths of the human experience so that you might be transformed by it and help make sense of the world you are living in or your life. But you've got to get in there and become it in order for that to happen. Now, the best part about reading sacred texts, and this certainly speaks to our Unitarian-Universalist theology, is that there's no one true translation. We would never say that there is one true and final interpretation or translation of a piece of music or a painting or a poem. Well, the same goes for sacred texts like the Bible, and there are many. With some of this in mind, I will now offer you the story spoken differently, as it has gripped my heart. And if later today or this week you want to go find a Bible and try it for yourselves, please do be my guest. All right. God, otherwise known as transformative, healing, liberating, lovely love, arrives disguised as nothing more than the totally ordinary and mundane. In fact, less than ordinary and mundane, tattered and unimpressive. Most walk right by because they only look for love in the form of big and flashy and obvious. Others are just too busy to look or notice anything beyond themselves and their to-dos. Or all they see is the traffic jam that's slowing them down and irritating them. And they whip by and around at the first chance. Some have given up looking for love altogether. They stay in back, suspicious and doubting that it's going to make any difference at all. Maybe even pointing out how it will only fail. Others feel something different, and it stops them because they see it and they feel it against all odds. And they think, what can I do to welcome this love in, to tell it that I see it and feel it and want to be caught up in it? So they take their coats and robes and pull off leaves and branches from the closest trees and lay them on the path as if to say, yes, yes. We believe that love really is all around us. We're draped in it and we're shaded by it, and now we know how to give it to. Take our love in the same way that you have given it to us. And as love in disguise passed them, the only words that came out of their mouths were praise love, save love. And God, otherwise known as love, in ordinary human form, shed tears, cried for those who had forgotten about love, forgotten how to receive it, how to look for it, how to recognize it, and how to give it. And here's where I tell you that despite my aspiration to be the one who is always looking for love and sees it when it arrives and is it all the time, I can also be all the other players and things in this story. For as I like to say, and I know you've heard me say this before, it's because I have a pulse and I am a whole, perfect, and totally imperfect human being. Yes, I can be a powerful manifestation of love, a holy woman, able to see the whole of things and blast out healing and transformative love everywhere I go. I can be her. And I can also be the small, kind of forgettable bearer of it, just keeping my head down like, our little donkey, putting one foot in front of the other in service to a bigger love on my back. I can be the path or the tender of the path, keeping it clear for something or someone better able than I to bring the love. I can be the bustling city under siege, wild with voices and ideas and plans, yes, even maddened by hubris and a longing for wealth and power and recognition and prestige. I can be the oppressor who hoards and blames and curses, only thinks of my comforts, my needs, my. Only thinks of keeping things maybe the way they are or the way I think they need to be without thought about who might be suffering because I've forgotten about love and I've forgotten about faith. I can be the doubter and the cynic who plants seeds of hopelessness and despair in the world. Everywhere I go, stands at the sidelines and only points out how things aren't going to change or how they aren't going to work. Yep. I can be the oblivious citizen, so lost in my to-dos, my little list in life is all there is. I can be the impatient one who only sees the end destination and the quickest route to get there and misses the journey itself. Speeds right by miracles disguised as love all day long. And I can be the certain one too, gripped to love only looking and feeling one way. I miss it when it's in front of me that way too. I can also be the lucky one who sees it. The one who, for some inexplicable reason, is brought to my knees by something so mundane and ordinary, or even dismissed by the world, and it saves me. Do you know that feeling? And in that moment, I would be willing to give the clothes off my back to thank it. Because suddenly nothing else matters but being and receiving and giving and getting love. I can also be that living tree whose roots are deep, whose trunk is strong, but who bends and sways with others, who offers life-giving air and beauty and blessed shade and shelter and green things to pass on and on and on to lay at the feet of love. I can be that too. And I can also be an embodiment of weeping compassion for those who are lost, for those who have given up on love, who even hate, who are hated, for those who don't have love, or who have never maybe even known it, and even for the parts of me who don't feel I deserve it or have it to give, who have forgotten to begin with beloved here. I can weep for that too. My friends, I would ask during this week and weeks ahead, I would ask that you try, and it's all you have to do in this life, try to not miss the procession. That you try to be the ones who see love when it arrives. Even if it's in the most unimpressive, totally ordinary, possibly inconvenient package. Where might love be trying to break through? Seen and known. My friends, ask this. Ask this every day. Pray to see it at the top of your day. Meditate on where you might have missed it at the close of your day. And don't forget to forgive yourselves. Don't forget to forgive yourselves for not getting it perfect. Keep trying. Keep trying. That's it. And try again tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow.